below us, they
Yes.
become part of our empire.
Sure.
Then we automatically, by definition, have an empire. That's how we get empire. And once we get empire, we can start colonizing other podcasts, forcing them to be part of our empire.
This makes sense. This is what I want. What we do is, okay, let's get Jose McCall's podcast. Calling you out, Jose. Are you with us or against us?
Join the radar.
Join the Radar Nation. Okay, and then let's get
ping or die.
Let's get what's Genevieve's podcast? Dead people, right?
I don't know if she still does it, but yes,
she is. Her and Sarah are bringing it back.
Okay.
So we'll
then that means they need a space for it. Yeah. So we can bring them into the fold.
Okay.
And then we have to get all of their Patreon money to pay for the hosting for all of the podcasts.
Well, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
There's no
we
reason.
Run this thing like Madoff.
There's no reason they're paying Libsyn $40 a month when they could be paying us $60 a month, and we'll do the work to pay their $40 a month.
Protection.
Exactly.
What are we talking about? Are we going to extort people?
Yes, I think you're using the wrong headphone, the wrong mic too. It's really echoey, and you're right next to your mic.
Chap.
Yeah. We're not calling it extortion. We're calling it job creation.
We're calling it an empire, the Werewolf Radar Empire.
Mm-hmm.
We're a nation. Now we're an empire.
Is it an empire though? If you haven't done like some sort of genocide,
we'll talk about it. We're gonna get this thing going. Jordan's back.
I'm back.
A from Beyond just asked, is it an empire if we don't do any type of genocide?
Yeah, I think it's an empire if you strike back. I think immediately you're an empire. And we've definitely struck back at people we perceive to be enemies. A bird that scared me the other day.
It was an enemy. Don't defend the bird.
Punched a bird out of the sky with lightning quick. Terrifying. The instincts of a predator that I didn't know dwelt within me, honestly.
I was proud of you.
Thank you.
Well,
I was frightened.
On numerous occasions, we have damned the man, and damning the man to save the empire is a classic empire slogan.
I could honestly go for one of those right now. You guys want to damn the man?
Damn the man.
Damn
the man.
Damn the man.
Ah, the man.
I'll have seconds of that.
It's good.
Okay, we're almost there to an empire. We'll grow. We'll get there.
We're not quite. We were talking about. There's certain other, podcasts that dabble in these paranormal waters. We see them swimming by every once in a while. Big sharks. Where we're like a cunning lamprey.
Listen, we don't make it about us. Okay, we're about the monsters.
Roger, shut up. I'm talking.
Sorry, I'm angry.
I'm a huge star, and I want people to know all about me. You might recognize my shoulder from that one Vice President movie. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan.
/Empire.
Yep, /Empire.
Burgeoning Empire.
Jordan Doll's there. I'm Roger. We're switching it up.
And I am Nate Balding.
I like how we are getting quieter introducing ourselves.
Today's episode of Werewolf
slowly
Radar
disappearing more and more.
Is brought to you by the Monstroco brand Black Iron Crown. Hear the whispers, become the whispers, become the Black King. It says there's only one available. It says $7,777. But I mean, if you want to buy it, apparently you can hear the whispers, become the whispers, become the Black King. It seems like a product. I don't know. I guess there's got to be a reason. They seem pretty confident that someone will buy it.
Well, it seems like it's
on the website.
Cheap enough for being a king too. I think it might be a deal. How much is it again? 7,000
It does say pre-owned, so $777,000. So I think maybe it's been sent back a couple of times, and it does seem to be covered in kind of a sticky viscera. But I think if you have the willpower to become the Black King, whatever that means,
You could get a fortune. You're a king.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's still cheaper than a starter house. Why not get the crown?
Yeah. It says here, what is 777,000 to a king? A mere pittance.
Yep.
To your
I say-
average millennial buyer.
I
Yeah.
say you go to a lender, ask for that
Get it.
$800,000 loan.
800K, you know,
700,
you're gonna need some money for a new outfit on the way.
And when that banker gleefully goes, "Oh, are you buying a house?" You go, "No, I wish to become the Black King."
Hail the Black King, and then you wear it, and if your willpower is great enough, the lender, you know, will either earn a place by your side or rue the day that they turned you down. So, you know, I guess I'll try it. Should I try it? Should I buy this?
Try it.
Yeah, I think you might as well. You get
All right, we'll buy this
the Monstroco discount, right? Since we're part of the network.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot to say that. If you are thinking about buying this before I do, because I'm thinking about it. If you use the code Spaceman Joe, you can get 2% off of this, which actually evens out to, you know, a few grand.
666.
I don't know math, but it's a lot of money. This is 700K we're talking. Honestly, I'm afraid. I don't think I can. I don't think I can become the Black King.
That's
I've tried
fair.
it before. You know.
So where are we going with this episode of Finest? I don't have a segment this time because I did a longer one for the This Week of Weird. Get ready for it Friday.
It's gonna be weird, guys.
Well, do you want to tune into the what's going on in April?
Let's find out what's happening in April.
Let's find out what's happening in April, man.
Yeah, so listeners from last week may have caught that at the end I said there's an article called "Is the Moon a Death Star?" which I thought was just a funny thing to say to end the episode. And then I started reading up on it, and yeah, the moon might be a Death Star.
Oh no!
But it's ours, right?
No,
Oh,
no, not even close.
well,
So this is from a Mazastic article. Is the moon a Death Star? Moon conspiracy theories. Largely drawn from David Icke's book, Human Race, Get Off Your Knees. The Lion Sleeps No More.
wait, are we the lion?
You know what? I'm not sure. I guess
Okay,
the lion could be attacking the sleeping human race.
If
or,
David Icke is pitching it, I'm guessing that the lion is probably some kind of a
Reptile. Yeah.
let's-
Right away, I go reptile.
He hates reptiles.
he
With a
does.
passion. Like, that's, if you don't know
He
who David Icke
really-
is,
Yeah.
he thinks that most aristocrats, the oligarchs, anyone who's an elite member of society is a reptilian humanoid
Mhm.
who has infiltrated, not everyone, but a bulk of people have infiltrated the networks of the world and are controlling us all for their reptilian agenda.
Sure.
So that's who we're talking about. This is some of his science.
That's true.
Yeah, here's a section of the article, Death Star Moon Theory.
Yeah.
Cutting through the treacle here.
Yep. The moon is bigger than it should be, apparently older than it should be, and much lighter in mass than it should be.
Who's judging this?
I that's my question too. I don't know who's saying that, they're body shaming the moon. Ageism is apparently there as well. Says it occupies an unlikely orbit and is so extraordinary that all existing explanations for its presence are fraught with difficulties, and none of them could be considered remotely watertight. The Russian professor of biochemistry Isaac Asimov, weirdly going for Russian professor of biochemistry and not celebrated science fiction writer.
See, I was thinking the other one. Go on.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that, actually.
Said that the moon, which has no atmosphere and no magnetic field, is basically a freak of nature, and that Earth is the only planet in the solar system orbited by a satellite so enormous in relation to the world it circles. It is bigger than the planet Pluto. Some scientists have even called it a twin planet system rather than a planet and a satellite. Asimov said that by all cosmic laws, the moon should not be orbiting the Earth. He concluded that the moon, by rights, ought not to be there.
Wow.
Is it really bigger
Yeah.
than the moon? I'm looking that up right now. Pluto's radius is 738 miles.
Whoa, that ain't
Mhm.
far.
It's not, now that I think about it.
You could
Let's
fit Pluto in the United States.
You can get through that.
yeah,
a
you
short
could.
trip.
That's teeny tiny.
All right, radius of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Then we all sit in silence.
Yeah, sorry. This is a weird spacing of numbers. It is
Okay,
1,700. It's like 1 with the space, then 737 kilometers.
Dag. I don't know if that's bigger.
All right, go on. I'll come back with
It's
some math.
The moon.
Either way, I'm definitely on the side of
Bigger.
that guy that said Pluto's not a planet.
The radius of the moon is
Pluto.
1,000 miles.
Pluto is smaller than Earth's moon.
So I guess, sorry everyone, Pluto ain't a planet. Pluto's a small
Wow.
little rock.
Wow. Brutal.
We settled
well,
it
it's all
here
right,
on
'cause-
Werewolf Radar, everyone. Pluto's definitely not a planet.
Evidently, the moon shouldn't even be there. So, who gives a shit? The fact that it is there is one of those strokes of luck almost too good to accept, which she's not. So, small planets such as Earth with weak gravitational fields might well lack satellites. In general, then, when a planet does have satellites, those satellites are much smaller than the planet itself. Therefore, even if the Earth has a satellite, there would be every reason to suspect that at best, it would be a tiny world, perhaps 30 miles in diameter. But this is not the case with the moon. It is huge. Have you ever seen how monstrous it can appear in the sky at times?
Yes, I'm afraid of the moon too.
I like it. I like how close the moon gets to us. I've never once been scared beyond my child brain.
I respect
love the
and
Superman.
fear it.
The moon is a giant satellite, 2,160 miles in diameter. I guess the math was here all along. How is it then that the tiny Earth has one?
It is
You jump
weird. I mean, the next planet with like a moon like ours is Jupiter and Saturn. They have other moons that are like the size of our moon.
And they're mostly made up of expansive gases, not a
Yeah.
pretty gravitationally intact core.
Mars, our sister planet, or one of our brother's sister planets, as we like to call them.
Mhm.
Phoebos, 7 miles radius. Deimos, right? That's the pairing one. 4
Right.
miles.
4 miles,
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So these are the size of
Oh.
neighborhoods.
Yeah, pretty much. Moons apparently are just the size of neighborhoods.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No, I feel like it's gotta be bigger than that.
Do we trust Google?
Sometimes. Depends
Okay.
about what.
Moons?
No.
Okay, then I don't trust these numbers.
Nice.
Then we get to a hollow moon theory. The
Okay.
Apollo 12 mission to the moon in November 1969 set up seismometers and then intentionally crashed the lunar module, causing an impact equivalent to 1 ton of TNT. The shock waves built up for 8 minutes, and NASA scientists said the moon rang like a bell.
Whoa.
The Apollo 13 mission to the moon in 1970 and the Saturn V launch vehicle weighing 15 tons was crashed into the moon at about 100 miles from where the previous mission had left the seismometer.
Mm-hmm.
When the launch vehicle made an impact with the equivalent of 11 tons of TNT, NASA scientists said the moon reacted like a gong and continued to vibrate for 3 hours and 20 minutes to the depth of up to 25 miles.
Wow, crazy.
That is
Wait.
all
So if
they
it's
have to
hollow,
say
it's
about the
pretty
hollow moon
thick-skinned.
theory.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, yeah, it's the very fact that, past that it could just be empty is weird.
Yeah, what's in there?
Well, as we know from last week, it's obviously an amplifier for all of the signals coming out of the space base that the reptiles have on Saturn. So presumably, like, I don't know, some XLR cables, a couple quarter inches, and like some amps, some speakers.
I get it. Yeah.
And while I don't have an exact quote, it is from NASA's website, their history page, that does state the moon has done these things. Like, this isn't like just unsubstantiated. This is from NASA.
Right. The moon has seismic gonging capabilities. In 1970, two members of the Soviet Academy of Sciences wrote an article for Sputnik magazine called "Is the Moon the Creation of Alien Intelligence?" The suggestion was that the moon was a planetoid that had been hollowed out using machines by unknown beings with advanced technology. If the technology were nuclear in nature, it would explain why uranium-236 and neptunium-237 were found on the moon's surface. They went on to say that if you go on to launch an artificial Sputnik, then it is advisable to make it hollow. It would be naive to imagine that anyone capable of such a great space project would be satisfied merely with some kind of giant empty trunk hurled into the near-Earth trajectory. It's more likely that what we have here is a very ancient spaceship, the interior of which was filled with fuel for the engines, materials, and appliances for repair work, navigation instruments, observation equipment, and all manner of machinery. The Noah's Ark of Intelligence, perhaps even as the home of a whole civilization envisaging a prolonged existence and long wanderings through space. Naturally, the whole of such a spaceship must be super tough to stand up to the blows of meteorites and sharp fluctuations between extreme heat and extreme cold.
This is freaking my bean, dude.
But is it a Death? Because, like, I'll let you continue, but is it a Death Star? Because the moon does a lot of things for us on the planet. You know, it basically the moon allows a lot of life to be on here.
Well, we're gonna learn about some of that stuff shortly.
Excellent.
The shell of the moon is probably double layered. The base is a dark armoring of about 20 miles in thickness, and outside of some kind of more loosely packed covering, a thinner layer averaging about 3 miles. The moon is made inside out, and the inner and outer components should be the other way around. The material from the inside of the moon was somehow brought to the surface to make a protective outer shell. The thinner outer layer, averaging about 2.5 miles, would explain why moon craters are not as deep as they should be given the width of the impact. They are uniformly shallow.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, erosion kind of like explains some
watch
of that.
your mouth.
Okay, my bad. I said the E word here.
With your science.
But I like the idea that an advanced species, and I don't know that much about like spacefaring science, but it seems silly that an advanced race
I'm from Earth.
creature. I'm from Earth now, but it seems silly that instead of just making a fancy, strong, fangled metal shape, you just made it thicker instead.
Yeah, you fangled it.
Like, it seems that they wouldn't want to use as much material to make it thicker. They would just make a really strong material. But I don't know spacefaring societies. Maybe this is the easiest way. Just a thickums wall.
Oh, Thickums brand thick walls.
Thickums brand thick walls.
Now 50% more thicker.
Monstroco brand thick.
Put it on your moon.
Monstroco brand thickums.
All right, go on.
Sorry. Pick up those thighs, boy. Here we go. Here's what we can learn from Zulu lore about the moon's origin.
Oh, okay. I'm excited. I like me some Zulu lore.
This is where we start getting into the
Zulu
section,
if you will.
Zulu shaman Credo Mutwa said that Zulu lore about the moon, which has been passed down from generation to generation for thousands of years, describes it like this. They believe the moon to be hollow and the home of the Python or Shatari, or as David Icke calls them, the reptilians, a race of intelligent extraterrestrials.
Whoa. Wait, so there's precedent for these in mythology? I did not realize.
Oh God, there's green aliens hanging out behind you, Nate, on the picture behind you.
Oh yeah, in the hollow moon. Worth noting, the Chitauri is also the name of the race of aliens that Thanos sends to destroy the
sure.
Avengers.
It's all
First
connected.
Avengers movie.
I knew it. It's real.
It says, from what I gather, the reptilians are a creation from the gods of the Bible. The gods are humanoid like us, yet far more advanced intellectually, and they spliced their own DNA with that of dinosaurs to create the reptilians' reptoid species.
Hmm.
The legend goes that the moon was brought here hundreds of generations ago by two brothers, Wowane and Mpanku, who were the leaders of these reptilian extraterrestrials. They were known as the Water Brothers and had scaly skin like a fish.
Crazy.
The story is similar to the Mesopotamian and Sumerian accounts about two leader brothers, Enlil and Enki, which is close enough without Enki coming out all of the oceans and rivers. Credo said that the Zulu legends tell how Wawani and Umpanku stole the moon in the form of an egg from the great fire dragon and emptied out the yolk until it was hollow.
Nice.
They then rolled the moon across the sky to the earth and caused cataclysmic events on this planet, the end of the Golden Age. Credo said that the Earth was very different before the moon arrived. There were no seasons.
Would have been.
It was fucking day all the time.
There were no seasons, and a canopy of water vapor permanently surrounded the planet. People did not feel the fierce glare of the sun that we do now, and they could only view it through a watery mist.
Wait.
Yeah, there was the atmosphere was just fog.
But why would I know?
What?
Yet there were
My
people.
mind
What don't
has so
you get
many
about this? It makes perfect sense.
I guess.
No plot holes detected.
No plot holes. Go on.
Well, there'd just be rainbows everywhere you looked. Constantly.
That's beautiful, and I'm a fool for thinking that's stupid.
The earth was a beautiful place, a gentle place, lush and green with the soft drizzle and mists, and the sun's fury was not there.
Yeah, even though like plants wouldn't be able to grow, probably.
I don't think so.
No. They would be able to grow. It'd just be like a lot of like first level canopy growth in rainforest to where
there'd be a lot of
vines
fungi.
reaching for any type of sun.
Sure.
Thrashing around wildly as it learns to feed on meat instead of sun and nutrients.
Now we're talking. Now we are talking.
The water canopy fell to the earth as a deluge of rain when the moon was put into place into the Earth's orbit. Symbolized, of course, in the Bible when it rains for 40 days and 40 nights. Zulu legend says that these reptilian beings manipulate the earth from the moon. That they primarily use the earth to parasite off, and not just physical things like gold and water, but lower vibrational emotional energy, especially emotional energy like fear, worry, and stress.
Oh, good. I
Have you
thought they
ever
were grooving on my sex.
No. Unless
Oh,
it's
nobody
really weird
is.
and bad, and you're, it's causing
Not all
you to
the
have
time. I'm
anxiety.
not feeding him that much.
Have you ever wondered why artificial conditions occur on Earth, such as recessions?
Okay, now we're getting in there.
Now we're getting into that. Now they're going
That's
to
right.
ask us to take a personality test.
There is supposedly some what is it, INJF? I think if you're that, you can naturally see through the matrix.
Fuck.
Dude, I'm jealous I'm not one of them.
I don't even know if I am. I don't want to be.
I just think it's funny that the moon-dwelling reptiles from across the solar system are manipulating the economy.
For their
What
purposes.
a weak ass thing
Yeah.
to get stress and gold. Just
I love it.
show up at the door of any house. You're gonna see fear, worry, and stress.
Without your costume.
Come
Take off
on.
your human costume, just knock on a door. You're gonna stress out whatever suburban housewife
Yeah, and you can
you're
just-
gonna stress out the suburban husband. You're gonna stress out everyone in that family.
You can just
okay?
snack on that shit.
Yeah.
Ooh. Nom, 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 nom.
Just licking the child's head. She's like, oh, the stress is so good, it
God.
doesn't understand me.
Have you seen
The
you
bobcat throwing video.
Yeah, that one,
No,
that
that's hysterical.
bobcat was definitely
Incredible.
put there by a reptilian.
have
That's
you
what I was thinking.
seen Resident Alien?
No, but you
Yeah.
told me
Not a
about
ton of
it.
it,
I'm
but a little,
jumping
yeah.
on board. I'm slow.
It's incredible. The main character is an alien who's trying to hide on Earth and has committed many horrible deeds in order to not be seen. And one of the main things is that he has an ongoing rivalry with a kid in town who can see him for some reason. And he's just a bastard to him.
Yeah,
He's just a
INJF.
complete monster to him. It's very funny.
I mean, that definitely could be a thing, and why some people like, because that's been reported. That's based on a true thing to where no, people have
Sure.
supposedly seen past the camouflage of some of
Yeah.
these aliens.
Oh yeah, they see the rule. They see the reality, you know?
Yeah, man. Peeling it back.
They're peering through the fucking ether, man.
Not me. I know one of us is an alien, and I can't see which one.
I know which one.
All
Yeah,
right.
we all know. It goes on. Your adverse emotional reactions are a source of sustenance for these beings. They need it to live. Zulus and other African accounts say that the moon was built far, far away to control people and as a vehicle to travel the universe. Credo says that the reptilians' giant mothership is the moon, and that's where they went during the cataclysms of the Great Flood, which they had caused by manipulating the moon and instigating other cosmic events.
Fuckers.
Where the Noah figure was taken. So they took Noah there specifically,
Oh,
with
Did
others who were chosen to survive and replenish a new genetically modified species after the Earth began to recover.
mm.
So this kind of fits in also with some of the other things where they're constantly futzing around, like the Vril. You know,
Mhm.
once they snork you, they fuck with your DNA to like change
Yeah.
you into a reptile drone. So presumably Noah and the rest of the people who became the new mothers and fathers of the human species would
Sure.
have been changed into even more droney than Adam and Eve.
Right. Yeah. But not us, right, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're pure human.
Fucking punk rock. We're never gonna do what you want, Vril lords.
Ours is the mitochondria that said, "Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to Bonnaroo."
Yes, yes.
The Ark was not a boat. It was a flying craft that took people and other Earth creatures to the moon to sit out the
Called it.
catastrophe.
Didn't I say
Zulu
that?
legend. Yep, you did. Zulu legend says that the reptilians were created by the sun to cause havoc for creation.
Again, didn't I say that?
Yeah, here's another thing. They keep talking about the sun in some of these things, where apparently the sun, I was listening to a thing, the sun somehow acts as a force to synthesize the new genetics of abductees.
What?
Which spread into the rest of the people. So every time you walk outside, if there's been a genetic reset in the DNA that the aliens have beamed down from the moon, the sun mutates you, so you get an automatic update.
Man,
this is why you wear sunscreen. Sunscreen stops it.
Fuck.
Only over what is it, SPF 400? That's the one that blocks this.
The reptiles were given the authority to really mess things up in the universe.
And really just fuck with them. Really just go to town.
And when they say given the authority, that's because the reptiles, there are at least 22 different alien species who are involved with this moon base. It's kind of a Babylon 5 situation. The reptiles built it and they run it, and they got control over here on the Earth. And there's a reptile constitution that was built after a lot of the interplanetary wars that destroyed the planet Maldek, which became the Kuiper Belt around Mars.
Holy fuck.
This just got real.
God, we're deep, aren't we?
Hell yeah, we're in real country, baby.
Guys, I can't feel the ground anymore. I can't feel the bottom. Oh, I can't feel the bottom.
That's because you're flying, man. You are flying.
Fucking hell. Wow. Those Vrilstronauts, they see the truth.
So yeah, those the reptiles have legit legal authority through this interplanetary constitution.
Well, don't we have some legal authority for living here and shit?
Well, technically, they own us because we're their DNA offspring and blah blah blah.
Come get it,
Bitch
ass lizard king.
We have
That's
to
what I'm
rise
saying.
up.
See, that's what I'm talking. We finally reached that point of Werewolf Radar where we rise up and break the shackles of the reptilians that control us.
Listen, are we gonna stay here and work on this reptilian thing, or are we gonna get back to Universe A, where it's not even a problem?
Oof, yeah. I mean, I think it might be easier to get back to Universe A. Let's go on and see if there's anything in that Icke has to say that'll help this.
Please.
The arrival of the moon and the reptilians transformed everything on Earth. It changed the Earth's rotation and angle. The Earth turned over on its axis, as the legend said, and brought more powerful tidal systems that had once been much gentler.
And Coca-Cola changed
That's not
to the
what
new
causes
recipe.
the titles. The titles are caused by the moon.
And certain sea dragons.
Yes, and the sea dragons that actually rule us all.
Exactly.
Here's an interesting fact to start off the next paragraph. Women did not menstruate before the moon arrived.
I knew it. I knew it.
Sorry about that, ladies.
Credo said that the moon stops the Earth from getting too fertile and that the moon and Earth are involved in a silent war. Legend says that the reptilians threatened to take away the moon if humans didn't do what they were told. This would wreak significant havoc on Earth if they decide to take away the moon.
Listen, give it to me. Give me the moon. You'll get it back after dinner if you do your homework.
And here we arrive to the moon base section of this.
Really quickly,
chapter.
the moon is in a slow orbit to leave Earth. After like 5 or 10 million years, there will be no moon.
Yeah.
So do your homework. Finish your homework.
They're taking away the moon ever so slowly. It's an incremental removal. It's the same way we're getting healthcare someday, a million years from now. The Disclosure Project is an organization headed by Dr. Stephen Greer, who you may remember. Yes, was it Ariana Grande's new spiritual advisor?
No, it's no, him and Demi Lovato hung out in the desert and stared at aliens.
Yeah. Disclosure Project, headed by Stephen Greer, that campaigns for governments to reveal what they know about the extraterrestrial activity. In 2001, Greer arranged for presentations at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. by more than 20 witnesses from the military, intelligence, government, industry, and science who told their experiences. Among them was Sergeant Carl Wolf, who told the press club how Carl with a K, man.
Oh yeah, he's hella German. That Carl Wolf only comes in K form.
Yeah.
Carl Wolf, I come before you today to discuss the extraterrestrial scourge.
Has a scar over his eye caused by an alien.
Absolutely.
It's constantly flashing every time.
It flashes when somebody lies near him.
Who told the press club how he saw photographs of an alien base on the dark side of the moon. He was asked to go to a facility at Langley Air Force Base where the NSA was collating the information from the lunar orbiter photographing the moon. When he arrived, 2 officers took him to a laboratory, and this is what he said. He was showing me how well this worked, and I can't do the accent.
No, it's great. It's great.
And we walked over to one side of the lab, and he said, by the way, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And at that point, I became frightened and a little terrified, thinking to myself, if anybody walks in the room now, I know we're on jeopardy, because he shouldn't be giving me this information. He then began to show me pictures of this base, which had geometric shapes that were towers. They were spherical buildings.
Whoa.
They were very tall towers and things that looked somewhat like radar dishes, but they were large structures. Some of the structures were a half-mile in size. Some of the buildings seemed to have very reflective surfaces on them. I worked there for 3 more days, and I remember going home and naively thinking, I can't wait to hear about this on the evening news. And here it is, more than 30 years later.
Crazy. Wow, that's insane. Honeys, they discovered, I saw all the buildings. They have radar dish, and I think they have a Red Lobster. Can you imagine? We've never been. But I'm pretty sure I saw one.
I've heard the biscuits are average.
I thought you were going to say out of this world. I'm not going to lie. I think that would have been a good time for it, but never mind.
No, if they were good, maybe.
Quick, let's go watch the news. Hear about all about my incredible discovery. It's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah. And yeah, it's never been reported. Go figure.
Crazy, yeah.
David Icke says that the moon is the key to understanding how humanity and life on Earth have been up until this point in time, and how a hidden force is manipulating it. It is the home base for the reptilian entities. It not only houses the reptiles, but is a portal for going from the moon to the underground bases on Earth via teleportation. And it also acts as a vessel for traveling interdimensionally between the third and fourth dimensions.
You know,
Fourth dimension, of course, is time. So I don't really understand how they.
If David Icke were shouting this on your average street corner,
Yes.
he'd be arrested, right?
I don't think he'd be arrested. I think people would avoid him.
Sure. I'm just saying, you know, how many people out there, we like to think that there's one way and one way only to become a fucking messiah of the new reptile religion. But I'm just saying, maybe there's people out there yelling truth into the sun, and we're just not giving them the time of day.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people shouting things by my place in Denver.
But this is
I don't think all of them are speaking the truth, though. But I mean,
this is every bit as bonkers.
Yeah. How many of them are former sportscasters for the BBC?
Well,
you got us there.
There's only one way to find out.
Icke goes on to explain how alien abductees are actually taken to the moon when they believe they are actually in a spacecraft, which is kind of rad, actually.
You would still need a spacecraft to get to the moon.
Well, you can just get transported there. You get teleported when you get taken up, you know?
Yeah.
Icke says that the reptilians are broadcasting a false reality from the moon, that humans are decoding what they think is a physical world, obviously. The Saturn moon matrix.
Saturn moon matrix gets you every time.
Head back to that.
The moon, like all physicality, is a waveform phenomenon that we decode into a hologram that only exists as such in our decoded reality.
Obviously.
It is all It is all happening on a vibrational level as wave fields in the metaphysical universe. The transmissions from the moon matrix, are broadcast into the metaphysical universe, and we then decode them into holographic reality, response, and experience. The moon's transmitting information into the human body computer, in which the reptilians genetically modified to receive and decode it. The precision in the mathematics and proportions of the moon in relation to the Earth and the Sun is all part of this, as is the connecting mathematics, proportion alignment, and geometry of the megalithic structures all over the world.
Shit.
We did it. We're at Stonehenge.
Interesting.
Yeah, let me jump down to this. Thing.
There are a few things in life that I kind of believe unequivocally. Past life regressions, I find a hard time shooting down. Those are pretty interesting. There's a lot of EVPs that I'm like, whoa. And Stonehenge, like the mathematical lining up of Stonehenge is like something that I can't quite get past. It's like, oh, these were for something. Like, people seem to know a lot more about where these were going to be on a yearly basis than we would have thought possible.
Yeah, well, and that's there is some sort of I forget what it's like a megalithic yard, I think. Is what it's called, and I want to say it's like 2.7 feet or something like that.
Oh,
and that is apparently there's some kind of cosmic uniformity among all the megalithic structures with certain constellations,
right?
And lunar
based on
cycles
a unit of measurement based on the size of the Space King's foot.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't find where that is in here, but yeah, there's supposedly there is a cosmic reptilian geometry that all works mathematically. With
it's all based on the pi.
Yeah, sacred geometry is crazy.
Yeah. The information constructs for the virtual reality universe as a whole is encoded in the photons emitted by the suns in conjunction with what we call black holes.
Right.
No,
In conjunction with the black holes.
In
Yeah,
conjunction with the saucer
the
people.
and the reverse vampires. Don't
Reverse
forget them.
vampires, right? The Rand Corporation.
Yeah. The transmissions from the moon have hacked into this information to distort it and encode other information realities into the photons emitted by the sun. The suns are the controllers of reality, and that they emit photons encoded with information that penetrate the DNA and stimulate the visual center of the brain where we construct holographic reality. So if we just blotted out the sun with some sort of vapor atmosphere again, we
That
could
has
see...
That
the
has
moon's
literally
not
been
real.
something. I forgot who was doing it, but to like avoid some things of like global warming, they were like, we'll block out parts of the sun. That's not a super villain thing to do.
Yeah, right. That's brutal. That's a bad move.
Let's see, here's Alex Collier talking about the moon, who's another moon guy, fake moon landing person.
Okay.
The moon was brought to Earth's orbit approximately 11,213 years ago in March, approximately.
In March. Nice.
It came here as a base, as a ship, as a satellite carrying ETs. The ETs came here to colonize the Earth, and the moon was their home base. We did indeed go to the moon. Many of the moon landing pictures were faked because there were too many anomalies in the photos. They couldn't hide them, so some of the images and videos had to be redone or touched up, so to speak. I saw a thing from a different guy, too, that was talking about how we got to the moon, and they were like, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here, kid. Get the hell out.
Hey, what are you doing here? Hey, it's for aliens. Only aliens here.
This
Get the hell
isn't
outta
for you
here.
yet. Get out of here.
Whenever people use ETs as a noun, I always imagine like ET, the extraterrestrial.
Yes, doing all
Just
that work.
A ship full of like, maybe we all phone
Just like
home.
folded down into perfect rectangles and stacked one atop the other, like little fridge boxes.
Exactly.
Collier also claims that the moon has gravity, and that gravity is created by our sun and not rotation.
We know it has gravity. They know it has that.
Well, I also like that he's claiming the gravity is created by the sun somehow.
Well, at least he's not a geocentric form of the universe. At least he understands that there's forces that are not powered from within the Earth.
Okay.
He does also say we only see 59% of our moon because it does not rotate. It's the only one that doesn't do that. Why? Because the moon has 4 pyramids on them, and all colonized planets have pyramids on them.
Wait.
Okay.
The moon's rotating. It just is in this type of rotation that one side matches our rotation or our orbit around the sun perfectly.
Yeah,
not according to Alex Collier, Roger.
I guess is a really weird coincidence.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to know how pyramids play into it not rotating?
Show us how the pyramids generate the anti-rotation machine.
Pyramids are weights.
Aha!
When you place them in strategic locations, it balances the rotation of the planet, which keeps it from wobbling.
Have you guys
A
ever
balanced
seen...
planet helps to prevent weather anomalies.
You ever seen the Pyramid Code?
Yes, I like that show. That
Pyramid
show
Code
was
is great.
insane. It was a
They talk about-
mini-series on Netflix for a while.
Yeah, they talk about how pyramids are kind of dimensional generators that are generating this what could be called vril energy.
Yeah, it really goes into like the pyramids were like active during the last golden age of humanity.
Yeah.
And then as they were slowly being forgotten what they were used for, humanity dipped into the dark ages. Supposedly we're on the way up.
Yeah, well, theoretically, we're approaching the point where we know too much, and either they have to destroy us and start over again, like they've done with hundreds of other prototypes,
Sure.
or I forget what it is. I think it's like 33 prototypes or something.
Sure.
That we are the current version of.
I think we got it this time.
I think we got it.
Yeah,
I think we got it. You know why? Shirts.
Nobody had shirts before.
No one had shirts before. They had togas, they had loincloths, they had hoops, but not shirts.
And
Fair,
Hoop
yeah,
World.
yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah, Hoop World was stupid. What a stupid incarnation of Urantia.
Boo,
we're-
Hooperantia.
We're less Australopithecine and more Australopithec sleeve, huh?
Yeah, baby. All right, man. Well, is there anything else that you think we should know about April this week?
Here's a couple, just bullet points from a video that is like 2 hours long, but the fun parts. At least 22 or more ET species are operating on the moon at this time. Intel has suggested the moon has been responsible for bombarding the Earth with harmonic resonances or
Nice.
psychic bombardments, maintaining an experimental veil. The harmonic resonance inhibits your ability to manifest and create at will using your thoughts. So when this is gone, back to dream time. Also, the
Shit.
harmonic resonance veil is thinning, so we'll now be able to manifest our desires much easier than before.
Thank God. I got a
Nice.
nosebleed trying to manifest my desires the other day. It was gnarly as hell.
Shaking it like,
I know about it. Well, I wanted to.